So students, now we'll discuss chapter 2, planning and development. Earlier, this chapter has been the politics of planned development. Now the name title of the chapter has been changed. It has become now planning and development. So if we speak of the development would mean the different things. For example, to an industrialist who is planning to set up a steel plant, to an urban consumer of steel, and to the Adivasi who lives in that region. Thus, any discussion on development is bound to generate contradictions, conflicts, and debates. The first decade after independence witnessed a lot of debate around this question. Development was about becoming more modern, and modern was about becoming more like the industrialized countries of the West. It was believed that every country would go through the process of modernization as in the West, which involved the breakdown of traditional social structures and the rise of capitalism and liberalism. Modernization was also associated with the ideas of growth, material progress, and scientific rationality. This kind of idea of development allowed everyone to talk about different countries as developed, developing, and underdeveloped. On the eve of independence, India had before it two models of modern development. The liberal capitalist model, as in much of Europe, and the US, and the socialist model, as in the USSR. As we have already discussed that the world had been divided into the two power blocks, and the fight was between the two ideologies. In fact, the Western bloc followed the ideology of capitalism, and the Eastern bloc followed the policy of the socialism. These included not just the leaders of the Communist Party of India, but also those of the Socialist Party and leaders like Nehru within the Congress. There were very few supporters of the American style of capitalist development. The nationalist leaders aimed at the task of poverty alleviation and social and economic redistribution, as it was being seen primarily as the responsibility of the government. There were the debates among them. For some, industrialization seemed to be the preferred path. For others, the development of agriculture and particular alleviation of rural poverty was the priority. So, India adopted the concept of the mixed economy. Neither India went with that of the capitalist thoroughly, nor India chose to be only the path of the social welfare only, because we had been the poor country. So we have to generate the revenues also, we have to generate the income also for the development of the country. Hence, the planning came into existence. So now we'll see the evolution of planning. First of all, in 1934, M. Vishweswaraya launched the book Planned Economy of India. It consisted of many proposals how India can develop. In 1938, a national planning committee was set up under the chairmanship of Jawaharlal Nehru, our first prime minister. In 1944, Bombay Plan uh, was also brought by capitalists like J.R.D. Tata, G.D. Birla, Purushottam Das, Thakur Das, etc. But it advocated for the capitalist economy, which India could not choose. Reason, we were the poor at the time of independence, and we have to develop a lot. Again in 1944, Gandhian plan by Shriman Narayan Agrawal was also brought, and it was also the society oriented only. He also advocated for the social welfare. After that, in 1960, Sarvodaya plans were also introduced by Jai Prakash Narayana. He was also a socialist leader. Anyway, NPC, National Planning Committee, presented the report in 1949 stating the need of a planning commission for the proper growth of the country. Hence, from 1947 to 2017, the Indian economy was based on the concept of planning. And here we would like to clear one thing, that 5-year plans were introduced. These were the result of this planning only. And the integrated national economic programs were introduced under these 5-year plans. Who brought the idea? Uh, in fact, Joseph Stalin implemented the first 5-year plans in Soviet Union in the late 1920, and we have borrowed the model of 5-year plans only from Soviet Union. Here we would like to discuss the Bombay plan because this is the part of our syllabus in NCERT. It has been emphasized separately. So we would like to discuss this. Planning Commission was not a sudden invention. A section of the big industrialists got together in 1944 and drafted a joint proposal for setting up a planned economy in the country. It was called the Bombay Plan. The Bombay Plan wanted the state to take major initiatives in the industrial and other economic investments. Soon after India became independent, the Planning Commission came into the being. The Prime Minister was its chairperson. It became the most influential and central machinery for deciding what path and strategy India would adopt for its development. So please keep remember this Bombay Plan. Now we come on the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission was set up on March 15, 1950 by a cabinet resolution. 5-year plans were monitored by the Planning Commission from 1951 to 2014 and the Niti Aayog 2015 to 2017. We'll discuss it separately, Planning Commission and Niti Aayog just after this. It was an advisory body to the Government of India on an array of issues of economic development. It was a think tank on economic development with the Prime Minister as its ex officio chairman. Planning Commission of India was dissolved on August 17, 2014. So now we'll see the difference between the Planning Commission and the Niti Aayog. We'll discuss it separately. Then we'll move ahead in the chapter. So here we'll discuss Niti Aayog versus Planning Commission. Why Planning Commission had been dissolved? Planning Commission. So first of all, what is the full form of Niti? It was introduced. First of all, we'll see the full form of Niti. It's National National Institute for Transforming India. For transforming India. This is the full form of Niti. It was established on Niti Aayog was established on, in short, I'm writing this ESTB, please keep remember. It was established on January 1st, 2015. It came into existence. And Planning Commission, as we have already discussed, that it came into existence in 15th March 1951. So earlier, what had been done? There were the three stages when Planning Commission had been into the existence. At that time, the three stages had been there for the planning. First stage, first of all, we'll discuss the first stage. First stage was Planning Commission formed the plans. In short, I'm writing this PC. Please read it. Planning Commission. Planning Commission formed plans. Then second stage, it was after Planning Commission had formed the plans, all these plans would go for the review of the Union Cabinet. Review, I just write it in short. Review by Union Cabinet. And then the third stage had been there. Third stage. At the third stage, it was sent to the NDC. Sent to NDC. What do we mean by NDC? National Development Council. It has also become the part of our syllabus now. National Development Council. This is the NDC referred to the National Development Council. After NDC worked on it, it was debated and discussed in the Parliament, and then after Parliament approved it, then it became a plan. Okay. Here we would like to discuss little bit about NDC also. NDC was set up on 6th August 1952. I just write it. NDC, National Development Council, please keep remember, was set up on August 6, 1952. What was the objective to establish NDC, National Development Council? To strengthen and mobilize the efforts and resources of the nation in support of the plan to promote common economic policy in all vital spheres and to ensure the balanced and rapid development of all parts of the country. Okay. Now it has been merged with that of the Planning Commission. I hope we have get the things. Now we'll see Planning Commission versus Niti Aayog. Why it was dissolved? Planning Commission, in short, I'll write it PC. PC, here I'll write Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog. So if we talk of the Planning Commission, in the Planning Commission, it had the top-down approach. Just keep it remember. It means whatsoever had been ordered by the Prime Minister, it was acceptable. Okay. Then it went to the states and the local governments. And in the Planning Commission, state had no say in the Planning Commission. They worked only on the quantity, and Planning Commission allocated the funds even. So in such a manner, it overlapped sometimes to the Ministry of Finance. If we speak in terms of the Niti Aayog has the bottom-up approach. Problems raised at the grassroots level, that is local self-government to the state government, and then state government to the central government. Reason, state government has also been the part of the governing council of Niti Aayog. Now Niti Aayog works on the quality. This is only the advisory power. It does not enjoy any financial power, just like the Planning Commission. After a lot of discussions and debates, any plan is prepared. So keep remember mainly the 3 points. Number one, if we speak in terms of PC, this is the top-down approach. It was the top-down approach. Then secondly, it had number two, it enjoyed the financial powers, enjoyed financial powers. Number three, it was from central government to the state governments and then to the local self-government. From center to the state, C2S. In short, we called it. It was from center to the state. Next, Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog, it has number one. This is the bottom to up, from grassroots level, bottom to up, from grassroots level to the central government, from local self-government to the state government and then to the central government. It's only advisory. It doesn't enjoy any financial powers in such a manner. It does not overlap with that of the Ministry of Finance. Bottom to up approach. Secondly, no financial powers it enjoys. No financial powers are with the Niti Aayog. Number three, expertise are involved here. Expertise from the different fields, expertise are involved. Are involved in the Niti Aayog. In such a manner, we could say, in other words, that the Niti Aayog is cooperative in nature. Cooperative in nature. Clear? So we could say, number one, Niti Aayog came into effect on 1st January 2015. Secondly, it's neither any constitutional body nor statutory body nor created by any law. It's only a think tank. It gives both directional and policy inputs. All the strategies are discussed and consulted with that of the bottom level government. And in such a manner, it provides it's a cooperative and competitive in nature. And it provides a collaborative platform. So now, what are the objectives? Next, we'll see objectives of the Niti Aayog. Objectives of Niti Aayog. What was the objective of this? Number one, we could say active involvement of the states. Now the states are involved actively. Which was missing in the Planning Commission because the state did not have any say in the Planning Commission. Active involvement of states because in the composition of the Niti Aayog, we could see the Prime Minister, Chief Ministers, okay, active involvement of the states. Cooperative federalism. Cooperative federalism. Number 3, to start planning from grassroots to top level, or we could say decentralization is the policy. Decentralization, in short, I am writing this. Decentralization. Then number 4, knowledge. Knowledge and entrepreneurial. Entrepreneurial skills enhancement. Enhancement. And last, it works on the principle of, or on the objective of, सबका साथ सबका विकास. सबका साथ सबका विकास. I hope the things are clear. Now we come back on our so I had already read it out, the Planning Commission, and now we come on the next, Niti Aayog. We have already discussed the Niti Aayog, but again, this is the reference of material provided by the CBSE. After independence, a planning commission based on socialist model was formed for the planned development of India. But in the era of globalization, especially in the 21st century, it was ineffective and irrelevant, particularly in terms of coping with the pressing challenges of development. That's why the Planning Commission was dissolved. And so during his Independence Day speech on 15th August 2014, Prime Minister Narendra Modi talked about the abolition of the Planning Commission. Niti Aayog was constituted in place of Planning Commission on 1st January 2015 with the objective of providing the necessary and technical advice to the Union government regarding policy making at the central and the state levels. The Prime Minister of India is the ex officio chairman of Niti Aayog, and he appoints the vice chairperson of the Niti Aayog. The first vice chairperson of Niti Aayog was Arvind Pangaria. Dr. Rajiv Kumar is the current vice chairperson of Niti Aayog. To harmonize the interest of national security and economic policy, and to prepare strategic and long-term framework of policy and program, Niti Aayog acts as a think tank of the union government. By adopting a bottom-up approach, the Niti Aayog acts in the spirit of cooperative federalism, as it ensures equal participation of all states in the country. We have discussed all these points. Now we come on the next, the early initiatives.